Ladies and gentlemen, it is I, Tetcher, and I am doing a giveaway of 50 beta keys for Heroes of the Storm in the EU region. To watch the rule video, click the link in the description below. Indeed, so we're getting into game number 1 of the Dingit King of the Hill. It is, once again, a best of 5. Loser will be picking the map after this one, but this is game number 1, and it will be on the Cursed Hollow.
Cursed Hollow, of course, everybody knows it. Collect some tributes, collect 3 of them to be exact. That will curse your enemies, and that allows you to make a mega push happen, and that's what we often see. And I believe we've seen the most turnarounds here in any type of game.
Yeah, I'd say this is the biggest turnaround map, except for maybe Garden of Terror. So, Mr. Tekno Link, would you like to introduce our team on the left-hand side?
Yeah, on the left-hand side, we have Arthas StroitHram with KotH running the Tassadar. We're looking at Stalk running the Sonya. We have StroitHram running the Uther. On the bottom side, we have Unstable running the Vala. And finally, we have Andy Landy, who's standing still as the Tychus.
And on the right-hand side, it is Team Refuse, and starting in the top lane, it is Godspeed on the Tyrant, Arkham on the Rhaegar, it is Noisen on the Sergeant Hammer. In the mid lane, it is Toxical on the Muradin, and in the bot lane, it is KotH on the Illidan. And I need to turn my sound down a bit.
Could be. We'll find out soon enough. And yeah, let's see what they have in mind here. Of course, Sergeant Hammer is already deploying some of the mines in that brush. Smart move by Noisen, just getting a little bit of lane control right there. And you have to look at both teams here. If we're looking at Refuse, they're sending in a 3-man squad into the top lane. That Owl's going somewhere, but not really into the place that they really wanted. And apparently my sound is not working too loud, so I'll have to fix that soon.
Alright, Noisen pushing his way up, going to be dropping a lot of harassment attacks onto KotH to try and drive him back, but has now changed his area of target onto that level 1 tower. And this is what Sergeant Hammers are doing since pre-patch as well, which is basically pick a lane, 3-man it, and push it really, really hard. And then, once you've taken down both the towers in that lane, switch to another lane and push that instead. This does, however, since they're going the 3-man lane, mean Toxical is going to have to basically 1 versus 2 here for a while, and apparently miss his skill shots.
Yeah, but he should be able to just hold it down. Although Stalk and Unstable are dealing so much damage to the turret compared to the top lane. Already taking 1 down, Stalk now in this bottom lane. Also trying to get down the gate as well as the turret. And now the turret out of ammo. Things aren't looking too good for KotH, and you can already see how Rhaegar is heading towards the middle lane to assist his buddy there.
Yep, they're trying to protect it. They're trying to even up some of these lanes, but bot lane is seriously under duress, and there's very little KotH could do for this. And the thing is, Tassadar is the although he is getting really badly bullied in this lane, he is the perfect person to counter Sergeant Hammer in this lane because he slows her down. He is, however, missing out on a lot of XP, but SebK has been hovering around there, soaking up quite a bit of that himself. He's rotated his way up. And now Stalk gonna start with the first hard camp of the game very early.
Yeah, but he is able to do so, because if we're looking at the bottom lane, the gate and the towers have already fallen. And that's not something you would expect against a Sergeant Hammer in the top lane. Who, well, like you said, the shields from Tassadar are more than enough to stop Noisen from actually making some noise there in that top lane. So, yeah, tower will be going down a little bit, but the shields are so good from KotH. And while he did get a little bit hammered there, he's still holding his own together with SebK, as the first tribute of the game is going to be spawning, and Arkham is already on it.
Yep, not going to make it though. Andy Landy charging in there, going to drive Arkham back a bit. KotH, though, taking a lot of damage. Noisen having to unsiege mode himself due to the Tychus grenade. It is currently a 4 versus 3 in this lane, but Stalk has just arrived and is looking for his engagement, going on to Arkham. But Arkham is running back here. Nice stun from Tyrant onto SebK and Stalk. SebK dropping very low. Those mines chase them all the way back. Noisen doing as much damage as he can. That healing totem keeping him very healthy. And it looks like we're going to see Team Refuse gain control of the tribute area for the start because of the Sergeant Hammer. But they're still not going to be able to take this tribute because of Tassadar.
Yeah, exactly. Tassadar is going to be using his Psionic Storm all the time here. They're trying to deal some damage to KotH, but he's going to be just fine as Noisen continues to be that zoning monster that, well, we all know and love. Now, KotH is going to be jumping onto Stalk, getting stunned, but will be able to just jump backwards. Although he takes yet another hit from the Sentinel, and maybe this is enough for the team of Refuse to finally get themselves the hands on this tribute, or not actually start going in. He might go down.
Good shield from KotH there, keeping him alive. They're still trying it, though. The healing totems from both teams are the only thing that's keeping this fight going. So Storm goes down again. There is a talent advantage for Team Arthas there, but it did just even out. So once again, both teams on the same amount of talents. Double first aid on the side of Team Refuse here, and that might keep them in this. KotH once again being knocked off this. Neither team able to really get through, but mana is definitely in favour of Team Refuse here, so it looks like they're going to be able to take this at the start. Sebkia interrupting KotH again. Also,
smart move here by Arkham, actually, to be honest. He just ran in there just to force them away. KotH is going to be able to at least get a tribute to half, but now again has to fall back. This is a game of attrition.
How long can we deny this?
Finally, it's Refuse taking the first tribute. That took over 2 minutes, Tetcher. I was going to call you Tychus, but your name is Tetcher. On the other hand, though, look at the mid lane. Smart move by Arthas. They're immediately rotating down to that fort, going to be taking it down to about half hit points. They decide to fall back. Or actually, they finally notice, oh, it's out of ammo, let's take it down. And while Team Refuse was able to get the first tribute, Team Arthas is getting the first fort and has already taken down quite a few of Team Refuse's buildings.
Yep, bot lane, in fact, is in serious duress for Team Refuse. A lot of damage has been done to that already. Hard camp is taken by Team Refuse, so that's going to get a little bit of counter push back going in this mid lane. Tychus is hovering around here, though, just looking for some clear. But in the meantime, Sergeant Hammer continues to be Sergeant Hammer in this top lane.
Yeah, but now he has to be a little bit careful here. Kunichan going to deal some damage to him. There's a Sentinel coming out again. But Noisen will have to fall back pretty soon, because there's a tribute spawning in bottom lane. If he's... he has two options. One, push really hard, force Tassadar to stay in that top lane to deal with Noisen, or move together with his team towards the tribute area, and it looks like his team decides, we can lose a tribute, we're going for a boss.
Yep, they are charging up towards that top boss. They need to take this very quick, but however, we're going to see Team Arthas StroitHram just head to the bot lane, which was completely not needed, because Unstable was able to take that on his own. So we're going to see Team Arthas also take their boss. So we're going to see boss for boss, but still it is 2 forts to 0 in favour of Team Arthas at the moment. Noisen able to back out away from Kunichan there, who did pop his ult. And now there's quite a few people from Team Refuse coming up here, going to try and catch Kunichan. There is the phase shift. Stun is still available. Lands it. And now they are diving onto this. There's the Starfall, and down he goes. They have a boss here. They're easily going to be able to take down their first fort of the game.
Yeah, and you have to realise here as well that with just this 5-man push, they could easily take the keep as well. I would imagine that they are going to be falling back to defend their own keep in the middle lane as well as their bottom keep. But at the same time, hey, a tribute. Yeah, this is a good tribute.
Yeah, looks like they are just going to hang for this, and instead we're going to see Team Arthas continue to push 2 lanes. They're going to continue to push mid, take some towers, and push bot with their boss, because, well, they can do it at the moment, because they know exactly where Team Refuse are, so that's what they're going to do. They're just going to clear up as much as possible. And while the teams are basically split up with their pushing here, we haven't even talked about the talents yet, which we should have done ages ago, but so much has been happening. So, having a look at the talents, very standard for Uther. Nothing has changed on him yet. Tychus, however, we have the melting point on the grenade, which is the extra damage to minions and structures. Going to help him massively when it comes to clearing. We also have searing attacks, which is much more interesting, but it's huge, considering the fact that his Odin has increased range now, meaning it's much more reliant on its auto attacks, and he also has the Relentless, which he had automatically when he was in Odin form pre-patch, but that has now been taken away. Having a good Tassadar, once again, completely usual. Valor has gone for the multi-shot build. And,
but look at this tribute here. It's going to be spawning on the side of Team Arthas, and that's going to force Refuse to immediately go for that full-on 5-man push in that bottom lane. Well, 5-man, I'm going to call it, it's a 4-man because Godspeed went to the middle lane. But I would imagine that the result is going to be somewhat similar here. Now, the issue with the top lane here, look at the Siege Giants. They're moving in, and this is yet another tower and yet another amount of experience going over to the team of Team Arthas. And I don't think they're going to be stopping here. They're right on the turrets. They're going to be taking those down. and the team of Refuse is going to take some time Hearthstoning back to base. They're going to be way too late to deal with that.
Yep,
that means that they're going to be
down.
losing so much experience once again.
Need to back out, though. There's the Napalm. Is Toxical going to try and dive this? Nope. They're just going to stay there and wipe out these Siege Giants. And we're going to see Team Arthas get hit by an owl and move to the mid lane, try and take down a tower, but they need to realise that this is a dangerous place and back out, which they have done perfectly. We're going to see them get out of there. Having a look at some of the talents on the side of Team Refuse, we're once again seeing fairly usual stuff on pretty much everyone at the moment. We had the shield and the first aid on Illidan, very usual. The full hammer build on Muradin up to the burning range talent. Sergeant Hammer, on the other hand, is a bit interesting. We have the Regeneration Master, which is extra healing, and that is keeping her very healthy. Right now, though, Toxical has been caught out.
Nice fight here. Toxical popping his ultimate immediately. KotH is jumping into the ultimate from Vala, also locking up so many people here. But it's Uther who's going down. That means that he can walk in just as if it's nothing. And now Arkham going to go down as well. He took a little bit too much damage here, and it's a 2-for-1 situation right here. Stalk has to be careful though. Oh, a little bit too much. And the landing now has to fall back as fast as he can. He pops all of his abilities, but the issue is the new Tigers. If you die in Odin, you're dead. But
yeah, remember, it's not an extra health pool anymore. That's risky. That's so risky. Yeah. There it goes. Nice shot there. Exactly. It is now KotH on the run. He does have his dimensional shift up, though he should be able to escape. He needs to pop it at the right time. Yes! Oh my god, that timing, but it doesn't matter. Everyone's here. Down he goes. Now Unstable. You should not have come here, Unstable. He's on the run, but down he goes. Takes down Tehran, though. But that was a 1-for-3. Less than ideal.
Yeah, it wasn't quite ideal though, but still, it came down to Arthas overchasing. No, it was actually a 2-for-3 because they were able to actually get a kill. No, it was even more. It was a 3-for-5 if we count the entire team fight, because Sonya and Uther also went down. If we're looking at Sergeant Hammer didn't go down, but I believe Rhaegar went down, so it was a 2-for-5, and it all came down to the overchasing coming out of the team of Arthas, and this put Refuse right back on the map. And to make things worse, because they still have 4 forts on the map, means that they have so much experience to gain. And maybe that might allow them to snowball themselves right up to level 20 and take those fights for themselves.
Yep, we will have to see how that does go. Having a look at some of the talents we are seeing at level 16 here, we have Imposing Presence coming out from Uther. Apparently that used to work on his extra form, but that does no longer work anymore. Other than that, fairly usual stuff. Second Strike on Tassadar, Blood for Blood on Valor, Stone Skin on Sonya, as well as Life Funnel as a level 13. And Sonya is someone I'll be keeping an eye on a lot because, well, her talents, she doesn't get played that often.
Yeah, exactly. And now it looks like both teams are going to be hovering around this boss area. Sentinel didn't quite land onto anyone of Arthas, even though they were so close, huddled up. And for now, well, Siege Golems in the top lane are going to be pushing a little bit here, but you have to also consider that Refuse has both the hard camp and now the engage straight onto Toxical. Toxical jumping straight out of here, Ancestral Healing going to keep him alive. And the Odin, that was a very early Odin, but then again, in this patch, the Odin timing can be a little bit off because it doesn't provide an additional health bar anymore. Yep,
it doesn't give the extra health pool.
So much damage to Sabkaya. He goes down. Bye-bye.
Yep, everyone's pretty much going down here. Arkham able to back out here. KotH still pretty high health, but is being forced to pop, a dimensional shift so he doesn't get caught. But now he's run the wrong way. Arkham and Godspeed giving chase, but it doesn't matter. We're seeing the rest of Arthas backing up, but down goes... Who was that who just died? That was Sonya. Sonya does go down. Refuse. Once again, coming out ahead in the fight, and they're going to finally take this boss.
Yeah, it's so strong team fighting by Refuse. If we're looking at Arthas, every single team fight can be defined as such. They overstay their welcome. They get out position. They, fail to position themselves properly. And as a result, Team Refuse just picks them off one by one. Kunichan actually, he tried to bait Refuse away from his team, but Refuse didn't take the bait. They immediately went to their golem, and now they have a boss in the top lane. They have their 5-man squad heading towards the opposing team's boss, and most likely in the next 30 seconds, a tribute is going to be spawning. They lost the last tribute race, but now they are in the lead, and they should be able to pick that one up in conjunction with, of course, all these mercenary camps here. So very very good moment of the game here for Team Refuse as they start to finally get themselves a hold on this match. And then again, Tetcher, we talked about this in the Hero Select. Turnaround map, Curse Hollow.
Yep, it is still possible. There's only a slight XP deficit here in favour of Team Refuse. They are going to be able to take down this boss. I wish they grabbed it a bit sooner though, because they did see the enemy team up in the top lane dealing with the top lane boss. However, they did get it in time, and now they're going to make their way up to the top lane and start grabbing the tributes again. They only need one more for another curse, and seeing as they already have a boss, pretty good distraction. Their core is under attack from some catapults, but their minion wave should spawn in about 3 seconds, which should clear it up. There it is.
Yeah, especially once Tron also picks up the tribute, those minion waves are going to be pushing pretty fast here, and in the meantime, 4 members, and soon 5 members of the Team of Refuse are already barreling down the middle lane. Those towers are going to be falling pretty fast, and there's not all that much that Arthas can do about it. They can, well, they can force them away for a little bit, but they're going to be taking so much damage to their towers, to their keeps, and if I have to be honest, Arthas needs to fight right now before Refuse hits level 20 before them, because Refuse has such a huge experience lead. Well, huge is... They are going to be hitting level 20 faster. Toxical is already moving forward, landing the stun, and here they go!
Yep, and complete chain stun there onto Valor, gets wiped out. The Divine Storm does a lot of damage, but it's not enough to lock down anyone. Even Illidan's able to escape. Andy Lendy coming in with the Odin, huge damage being dropped there. And this is just going to be a full wipe. Stork is trying to back out Stoneskin, keeping him alive. He's going to be able to escape thanks to the extra movement speed he's getting from his abilities, thanks to the Wrath of Berserker.
Oh, Andy Lendy, yeah, he had no chance there.
Yep, doesn't matter. Absolutely. That is a 4 for 0. And we did just see them all try to group on the core, not realising they can't actually attack it because they hadn't killed the keep yet. So they've now finally killed the keep, and they've turned around onto the core.
How in Heroes you can actually backdoor a keep, but you can't backdoor the core.
This is true, but now you don't actually spawn minions anymore because of that. And there we go. Down goes the core.
Yeah, Refuse taking down game number 1 in this best of 5, and I have to say, Refuse, they looked like they were going to lose for a long time, and then Arthas overstayed their welcome just a little bit too much, and, well, even with just 1 fort up, they were able to take down Arthas, so very well played here, and we're going to get ourselves ready for game number 2. Thank you, Tetcher.
Alright, so, before Ray carries on, going into closets, I'm going to welcome you.
Are you more about coming out of closets then?
So, ladies and gentlemen, we are into game number 2 of the Dingit King of the Hill for EU. This is game number 2. It is on the Dragonshire. And Tekno, would you like to introduce our team on the left-hand side?
Yeah, let's make sure to do so. Andy Landy is going to be playing on the Troll. We're looking at Sepkaya, who's been playing on the Falstad, not the Tastar. I was going to say Tastar. Unstable playing on Wonder Billy Vala. We have Stalk playing Arthas, and finally you have Kunichan playing the one, the only Uther.
Well met. And and on the right-hand side, starting in the top lane, the team is Refuse, the player is Noisen, and he's playing on Sergeant Hammer. In the mid lane, it is Conus with the awesome purple demonic Tyrael. In the bot lane, it is Toxical on the Muradin with the Money Pig, Arkham on the Rhaegar, and it is Godspeed on the Tyrande.
Yeah, and for now it's Falstad here, who has already picked up a few of his items. I'm still waiting for... Oh, actually, they're waiting behind their walls. This is an interesting strategy here by Godspeed, Toxical, and Conus. Just going to be waiting here, but a 4-man push in the middle lane already. They're probably going to be rotating down to the bottom lane, most likely.
Yeah, it's fairly standard. You should, in theory, be able to wipe out an entire lane in mid lane, and then rotate and get an entire lane in bot lane without losing a single piece of XP. And they've actually managed this. I was just keeping an eye on bot lane. They didn't lose a single bit of XP there. The minion did not die, so they didn't lose a single minion worth of XP, so they've managed to soak perfectly both lanes. And now they're just in their lanes. They've got both these lanes pushed and got all the XP from both of them, so very well done. Sebkr, though, don't know if he lost any XP making his way to the top lane. He's going on to Noisen, though.
Yeah, a little bit of damage here, but Noisen has to boost the rockets. Will be able to...
Oh! The mines!
I didn't see them, and probably he didn't either. Now Noisen in a lot of trouble, but he has to blast back. and that's going to force Andy Landy away from this one. But oh my word, Falstad.
First blood.
More like Failstat in this case.
Yeah, Failstat indeed. KotH gonna be backing out here. It's 2 versus 1 on this bottom shrine. He's not gonna be able to take that. Top shrine, however, did go over to Team Arthas StroitHram here. Zepkea.
Yep, he was just a little bit too late, to be honest. If we were looking at KotH there in that bottom lane, he was trying to get onto the shrine just in time so it wouldn't cancel out, and it would allow Unstable to actually pick up the Dragon Knight, so he was just a little bit too late.
Yep, Stork looking for an opportunity to at least deny the Dragon Knight, but Bot Shrine did already go back over to Team Arthas, so they're going to be able to deny this. Arkham having to stay quite far back because it is 3 versus 1 currently. It's back to 1 versus 1 now, but there's still a chance he could get ganked at any possible opportunity. And in comes Andy Landy and Unstable looking for the pick, but Arkham playing way too close to his towers for that to happen.
Yeah, and for now, Andy Landy moving towards the middle lane, popping the Chain Lightning, and just going to be clearing out that wave together with his teammates. As in the meantime, Talon's level 4 have already come out, gathering power onto Zepkea, so he's going to go for that ability build instead of that auto-attack build that you were talking about a little bit earlier.
Yep, and
now,
also what I was...
Also
what I was talking about earlier is the fact that Valor can now go for the auto-attack build thanks to the Nexus Frenzy. With Falstad taking the ability power build and almost dying in that top lane again, but surviving this time. Going for the ability power build, it's a bit more AoE. With the Hinterland Blast, with the Hammerang, it does a lot of damage in a wide area. Whereas Valor doesn't really need to do the multi-shot build. In that case, Noise is going to go down. Down he does go. But Valor can now focus on single targets. So we can see here she's taken Rancor, which each Hatred stack increases her attack speed by 1.5%. And which means up to 10 and can mean up to 15.
Oh, bottom lane, KotH in a lot of trouble. He's going to take a lot of damage. He's going to heal, but a beautiful shot once again. The Hunter takes the kill. Now immediately in the bottom lane, Uther trying to deal some damage, but well, fortunately for Team Refuse, Arkham was able to escape.
Yep. Other talents we can see on Valor that holds up her auto attack build. We have Manticore, which means every third basic attack does 50% extra damage. It's a bit like Focus Attack, only far better in every way. And she's taken the Searing attacks, which means basically activate for damage. We saw it on Tigers last time, didn't really work, but with this build, she gets a lot of attacks out in time, and it's for 5 seconds rather than per auto attack. So it's going to be a lot of damage coming out from Valor if she has that max hatred.
Yeah, that's a lot of damage immediately. But in the middle lane, Stark is just going to be clearing out the wave. And finally, it's Team Arthas who now has the Dragon Knight controlled. Unfortunately, though, for Stark, he can't do all that much. He's going to be jumping onto Godspeed. Godspeed's very low. The multi-shot doesn't quite reach. And that is allowing Godspeed to survive. But Team Refuse immediately taking back control of the Dragon Shrines. It's a very even match at the moment, although Team Arthas is having a little bit of experience advantages right now. Another route coming out onto Conus, and he's forced to Telesword right out of there.
Yep, Elderwood's getting himself out of there as quick as possible. Zepkea continuing to clear this. He has the boomerang. He's rooted. He's rooted again. And
he's dead. No,
yep, down he goes.
Took a little while.
Yep, Andy Landy going to be grabbing this top shrine. Going to try and clear out these mines as well. Actually, I think he did actually clear all those out without taking any damage. Well done. Thank God for Wind Fury. Arthas going to start taking these mercenaries in these Bruiser camp in the top lane. Kuni-chan still just hanging around here. He's 3 versus 1, doesn't really want to get picked off. Just holding the lane as much as possible, getting XP for his team, getting to level 10, which they are now at. So if any of his team roams down with him, they may have a very quick chance of getting the Dragon Knight if they are very quick. We are seeing Valor on the way down. Doesn't look like they want to do it. It looks like we will see Team Refuse get level 10 as well before the Dragon Knight does get taken. It's going to be quite close though, XP. It's pretty low. They do get the shrine. Mid lane's available. Zepkea! Zepkea! Nope. And
Zepkea's like, no. Well, Hammer's in the top lane, so
they could never... Dragon. Actually, I think there might have been enough time. If he'd grabbed it instantly, Hammer's actually going to be able to escape. Nice dodge! And is able to back out.
Now Stark's in a lot of trouble because Conan is coming in. Here's a judgment. Goodbye, Stark. And he's sent back up the beanstalk. And Zepkea is like, I don't like this. I'm straight flying out of here. Unstable, Andy Landy, and Kuni-chan just going to be clearing out the mid lane and moving towards what looks to be the Siege Giants in the bottom lane.
Yeah, moving towards the Siege Giants, clearing up the ones pushing their lane. They may even grab the bottom Bruiser camp or their own Siege Giants. Bottom Bruiser camp looks like where it's at. Sebkea doing his best to defend this top lane, but he's taking quite a bit of damage. However, the Lightning Rod is still managing to deal quite a bit of damage, as well as the Boomerang / Hammerang that he does have with him. There's the root from Sork, but neither of these two want to go in versus the entirety of Team Refuse here.
Yeah, pretty understandable as well. But against the Sergeant Hammer, you need to go for that full-on engage. And they're missing quite a few members of their team to go for that full-on engage. And then Stable now in the bottom lane is going to be able to take down one of these towers due to, of course, the Ranger talent, allowing him to deal quite a significant amount of damage in a very short amount of time. Yeah, Stable knows that
Manticore, and he actually had Searing attacks activated there. He had all of his damage maxed out so much so that he was able to completely wipe that tower.
Oh, Noise in the top lane. He's taking a lot of damage, but will be able to escape. Although KotH, nice
Hinterland!
Beautiful Hinterland blast. Nice work.
Yep, no Dragon Knight was taken though, due to the fact the bottom was taken. However, Toxical may die for it. There's the Sundering, and Toxical gets wiped. KotH is now backing out, unstable, keeping his hatred stacks up on KotH there, but not able to pick anyone off. Everyone is down here. Ufa is in the mid lane, waiting for the Dragon Knight. He may be able to grab it in time. Gonna see a Sentinel denial? No, we are not. First Dragon Knight goes over to Team Arthas StroitHram.
Yeah, that's going to allow KotH to deal some damage in this middle lane, and even though they were one fort behind, now that they also have picked up the bottom, fort of Team Refuse, they're currently equal. And with KotH in the mid lane and a huge push in this bottom lane, Team Refuse has to make a good decision here. Where are we going to be fighting Team Arthas? Do we want to fight near the Dragon Knight, or do we want to be fighting near the bottom lane? In this case, they decide, well, we're going to try and force the Dragon Knight back, but it's going to be a little bit too hard for them to do so, as one of their forts also goes down. And that means it's 4 to 5 in the total structure still alive. But the Dragon Knight, currently 66%, will be rotating up to the top lane, and they're going to be picking up yet another fort, unless they're not feeling all that callous.
Yeah, they only have 13 seconds left on this Dragon Knight, so we're actually going to see KotH back up. He'll probably use his last Flame Breath to probably clear a wave, maybe start on something, but it looks like he's actually just going to let it run out normally, and then move with his team to help maybe grab some mercenaries. The Bruisers aren't up yet, but you can see all of Team Refuse's mercenaries are up, and they are going to be taking them.
Yeah, but fortunately for the team of Arthas, those aren't going to be doing all that much. Andy, Landy, and Stock are already on the siege camp. Going to be actually, they didn't take that one, so they're
looking to possibly steal it.
Yeah, they're just going to be waiting for this little fight here. Sakai in the top lane, he needs to fly over there right now. Yeah, it's too late. Siege Giants already going over to the team of Refuse, and Refuse now quite a bit behind. So Arthas, they need to keep on fighting. They need to keep on making these plays happen, but they have to also be a little bit careful here with KotH and Stable running almost straight into the Judgment coming out of Tyrael, and maybe that's also why we've seen the Tyrael being picked up, because of the sheer power of Vala. And if we're looking at the that's going to allow him to Judgment, of course, but I also like how in the draw phase, and we didn't really touch on that, is how Falstad actually was picked up later on to counter out the Judgment, because then you have multiple assassins, including Thrall, and that's going to, well, negate the we're going to kill one assassin plan that the guys from Refuse had. Now we have a little bit of an engage.
Yep, there's the Judgment, and nice. This is what another reason Falstad's picked. He can actually cancel out the Judgment. So can Valor if they time their vaults or dives right. Toxical gets the Ancestral Healing. So much damage being dealt from that Starfall. Sebkea trying to back off to the back, but now Valor's dropping a full damage. Down goes Toxical. Arkham being completely wiped so quickly. Unstable trying to chase, but he's been slowed by mines, and Andy Lendy is not able to keep up. But Noisen, he does get stunned. Unstable is now right next to him. There's the root, and gets completely destroyed. And that is another win for Arthas in terms of fights. KotH does not get rooted by Andy Lendy, but that is a 3-for-0 in favour of Arthas, and they are going to completely do as any damage they want to in the spot lane, because the only two members, it's just Tyrael and Tyrant of Team Refuse here, and they can't really fight this. And it looks like we're actually going to see a Dragon Knight here, thanks to Sebkea flying to the top lane. Ufa is already prepared. Unstable is there to cover him. KotH's going to look to try and deny, and he is actually going to manage it, but
4 seconds, and then another Sentinel coming out here. KotH This time he's going to get it. And yeah, about that last fight, it was pretty good. It looked pretty good for Refuse, but I was actually mentioning it a few seconds ago. The Falstad pickup against Ethereal, always pretty nice. You were talking about how you can cancel it, but also, even if you would have taken out Falstad, there was still so much damage remaining on the side of Team Arthas that it would have been very easy for them to actually counter-initiate later on, because Team Refuse, they ran out of damage, and that was the biggest loss in their fight. They don't have the sustained damage that Team of Arthas has, but then again, that's also a little bit the scary setup that Arthas has. If they fall behind, then they're going to be very squishy, but because they're so far ahead, they can just make these plays happen every single time.
This is true, and you mentioned how much damage we have out here. We can actually have a look with Control 2 and see that. And it's 21,000 from Falstad, which is, as we have seen from people like Brightwing when it comes to healing, a bit artificially inflated thanks to the huge amount of AoE that's coming out. Whereas Valor is on 14k, and that's been pretty much all single target damage. She's been doing that much damage to picking someone and then autoing them until they die. And it's
KotH.
Oh, that was nice. Charging in to make the explosion hit them.
Interesting, to say the least. I was under the impression that it was just going to be kicking someone away and then exploding. That would have been a perfect situation, I imagine. But Team Refuse now on the back foot. They're 2 levels down. I would say that if Arthas keeps this up and they don't do the same mistakes as they did last game, and I have to say their team fight capabilities in this game are way better, and their positioning is also way better than in the last game, then they're going to be taking this one home. But Refuse, well, we've seen them coming back from bigger deficits before in other tournaments. Still, you can't really count them out. It is Heroes of the Storm, and just a few kills can easily make sure that you're equal with your opponents again.
This is very true. Right now, Bruiser Camp being picked up by Team Arthas. They are all here, so they could go in for another fight. Andy Lendy looking for his opportunity. He does have his Sundering up. He gets the real Toxical. Oh, the jump, though.
Yeah, the jump.
Once again, a jump like the Vaults of Falstad and Valor can cancel out an ability like a Root, like a Judgment, if it is timed perfectly.
In this case, it wasn't completely timed perfectly. It was probably a little bit more button mashing than you would have
good
imagined. Oh, but immediately the Jimmy Trail to KotH. They're trying to take down Uther, but that's not the guy you want to be taking down here. There's the Divine Hurricane. Muradin immediately gets popped. No chance for him to even survive, but now in return, it's Tyrael who's going to go down, Rhaegar as well, and this is going to be a massacre as Team Refuse is getting taken down one by one. Godspeed is the only one still alive on the side of Refuse, and Godspeed, you're not going to be able to defend against this onslaught that Arthas is doing. Team Arthas even, but also Arthas.
Unstable, almost taken down there, but was able to save himself with the Blood for Blood, giving him just enough health to back out of that fight and let his team deal with the rest. And now he doesn't even need health to attack the score because Stork is tanking it all. They're going in for the win here, and this will even up the score. Stork is actually going to die here, but down goes the core, and that brings the score up to 1-1 in the Dingit King of the Hill tournament for EU.
Very interesting map, always. It's a combination of the Haunted Mines and Dragonshire, in my opinion. And on the blue side, we are going to be having, this time, I believe, the team of Refuse.
This is correct. Would you like to introduce them?
I'm going to first fix the overlay, because apparently I don't like it when people start switching sides.
It happens. It happens depending on who makes the map.
Yeah, exactly. That's why we shouldn't be doing that. So now I can apply, and I can finally move to the real scene. Here we go.
Question. Why does the statue in just below top lane have hair?
3, 2, 1. Let the battle begin.
That's all. All right, so introduce the team on the left-hand side.
Yes, you were right. You were right. Doesn't the other one have it? No, it also has it on the bottom side of the map.
Yeah, I wasn't looking there. But yes, it does, for some reason.
It's a hairy statue. It's probably fungus. There's some fungus among us.
But Alright, so, introduce our team on the left-hand side.
Arkham on Rhaegar. On the, correction, it's Refuse. With Arkham on Rhaegar, we have Noisen playing on the Tassadar. We have Toxicol playing on the Muradin. Godspeed playing on the Tyrande again. And finally, KotH, this time not taking a minute to roll into his Illidan suit.
And on the right-hand side, starting in the top lane, it is Team Arthas Sebkea. is on the Nova, back where we've seen him so many times. Andy Lendy is on the Valor. In the mid lane, it is Stork on the Tyrael. And in the bot lane, it is Kuni-chan on the Ufa and Unstable on the Sergeant Hammer.
Yeah, although this lane might have the name Unstable in it, I would say it's a very stable lane, given the fact that Kuni-chan is just going to be healing up Sergeant Hammer all the time, so not much going to be happening there. And at the same time, look at what Sepkaya is doing. He's like, I want to fight somewhere. Here's the hologram trying to force Arkham in. And Arkham is like, what is Nova doing? Oh, that was just a hologram.
It burns ammo from the towers as well, which means Andy Lendy is going to have much less trouble just farming these towers, doing as much damage to them as possible. Sebkea hanging about here, just making sure that they can get the late experience from this, while Tyrael starts getting the seeds. But now Sebkea moving up once again. They're going for Arkham. Arkham has a very long winded escape route, but Toxical is there to help him out, and Arkham will get out in time. Kuni-chan.
And the bottom lane, Kuni-chan, he has to be a little
thinking about
careful.
it, but no way.
Yeah, exactly. He was exactly thinking about it. About that little camp at the camps, both going over to the team of Arthas. And Kuni-chan, again, looking to go in for some steals, doesn't get any of them. Kuni-chan is just going to be running around, but now his team is joining in as well. Konas is forced out of there. Can he actually escape? One hammer. Tick-tock. Here goes the clock.
Radiance.
It's not going to be up. There's a stun. Konas escapes, but Rhaegar goes down in response, though.
Yep, great protective
shield.
Oh, down he goes.
Nice snipe there by Sepkaya. Now, Toxical actually pulling the nice cam there. That would be a very sneaky way of killing your opponents. But and Landy in the top lane in a 1-versus-1 situation, picking up the kill onto Rhaegar. Very well done.
Yep, very nice there, and that does bring the kills 2-0 in favour of Team Arthas at the start here. We did see a very nice escape though from Illidan there, using his Shadow Shield, meaning that when he uses his evasion, he does get an extra shield as well, and that did keep him alive. And now, Konas going on to Unstable here, but there's a stun from Ufa, and that does force him to back up. Owl does hit Unstable, but Konas being forced back after taking huge damage from Kuni-chan.
Yeah, it's pretty much impossible to kill a Sergeant Hammer with just an Illidan and a Tyrande when you're facing off against Uther as well, so maybe he does drain a little bit of mana, but it's not all that much. Now in the bottom lane, it's Team Arthas already starting on the Shambler. Kuni-chan just going to be popping in his headstock, looking for the engage here, already using his Angelic Smite here to try and take down Godspeed. Godspeed, he got knocked the wrong way, and now Godspeed is in a very safe position. Cancel that though.
The lockdown doesn't get stunned though. Kuni-chan still pushing forward here. We are now seeing the retreat. Godspeed is so low, but there is the Tassadar shield to keep him alive. And Unstable does get caught in a stun, but it's not going to be enough to stop them getting the remainder of these seeds. And that does bring Arthas into a small seed lead. And they can now, if they want to, kind of make their way up to the top lane to start grabbing that as well. But in the meantime, Andy Lendy has been busy.
He has certainly been busy, and this is exactly that experience lead that we were expecting. If the snowball starts rolling, it is an avalanche.
This is pre-ult. This is the snowball of just they've been getting kills normally without even the burst.
Tetcher, this is exactly what I was looking at in the in Hero Select. Yeah. It was nothing. There's almost nothing that they can do about it at this point because they're behind. What the team of Refuse needs to do is to try and delay the game a little bit so that they can get their, like you said, the more consistent setup. And then
soak XP, grab lane so they can get their ult as soon as possible. So they're not fighting Team Arthas without their ults.
Yeah, and that's the biggest thing that we're going to be looking at. But Team Arthas is already level 9, going to pick up the Siege Camp as well. We already saw a little bit of the Sentinel play coming out of Godspeed to try and chase them down. Now, at their base, there is the plant tower, and I would expect them... they're actually going for Arkham. Arkham in the love throw will get stunned, gets locked up. Here's the burst. Goodbye, Arkham. He's getting sent to the asylum.
Yep, down he goes. Terra has been taken by Team Arthas. It is on Stork, so he will now be rolling his way down the mid lane, be able to take out these two mercs there. Sebkea is there with him, so Sebkea can help pick off anyone who is there, but no one is reacting to this. Sebkea's instead, gonna head down to the bot lane, see if she can kill off anyone. See if he can kill off anyone who may be interested in going for Unstable. Going on to KotH. KotH dashing away. There's the heal. Precision strike! Not enough. Barely even took off the shield. That shield's pretty heavy.
Top lane. Dastar actually went down as well, so look at the damage that the team of Arthas is doing. They're not afraid at all, and I can't really blame them. I mean, they have so much of an advantage right now. They're even backdooring this turret here. They're ignoring the fort. Now they're going for the fort. Fort also going to go down, and Arthas just taking a massive lead. That's a 3-level lead in less than 6 minutes. And if we look at the talents, yeah, well, the talents that we expected: Judgment, Napalm Strike, Divine Storm, Precision Strike, and of course the Rain of Vengeance. That's the one we didn't predict. We predicted Strafe.
I expected Rain of Vengeance, but Strafe could have been viable if they were going for the full burst, but because there's a Muradin on the other team and a Tyrant, Rain of Strafe is just far too likely to get stunned out, so it is not worth the risk. So Rain of Vengeance is nicer with this Eraser comp because it is just straight line, I'm going to kill this person who is right here damage, rather than my team's going to tank for me while I just sort of spin and do damage over time.
Yeah, now in the bottom lane you saw Zepkai. He was like, I might want to fancy my chances here. Decided to back away though, and now in the middle lane, the 4-man push already coming out. The Sonic Storm dealing maximum damage to the Sergeant Hammer, but Sergeant Hammer's like, whatever, I'm just going to be blowing up this fort. Fort going to go down, and yet another structure going into the hands of the team of Arthas, who are currently snowballing like mad. Their opponents, they're going to try and take down one of these bottom turrets, but they're already too late. You can see Arthas is like, we're coming in.
They're on
Here's
their way.
The maneuver.
There's the Judgment. That's it. He's gone. No chance. And down he goes. And that is the comp we're looking. We only even saw one ult there. Imagine seeing that with all of their ults available, which they are. They will be soon. Everything except Judgment is now available, so they can still do damage with that.
Look at Nova. Lethal Decoy.
Yeah, I love that ability.
I also,
so
but
good. 25%.
This was always Rewind, or not Rewind, the other one,
Overdrive, and I think that's next level. I think you're mistaken there.
Was it?
Pretty sure it's level 16 on Falstad.
I'm not entirely sure, but there is a little bit of a skirmish breaking out here with the team of Arthas fighting over their own Bruiser camp, but it looks like Refuse is going to have their first minor victory in this game by taking down the Bruiser camp. Those are going to be easily taken out by the team of Team Arthas. Wow.
They bought
it's really
some
annoying
time,
when
though.
people switch.
They did buy some time, though, in the meantime. They were possibly looking for some seeds, but the rest of Team Arthas did come up. Sorry?
4 levels behind.
I know. They bought some time to possibly go for some mercenaries, go for some seeds. However, the entire rest of Team Arthas did make their way up and ruin that, which I did say if you were listening.
Oh, sorry, I'm...
You were a bit too busy interrupting me.
At the same time, it works both ways. But we can look at the seeds that are going to be picked up as the team of Arthas once again gets themselves another planned terror. But if Refuse is fast enough, they might be able to get them one of their... No, they're too late.
No, they are far too late. Andy Lendy looking for his opportunity, dodges the stun. He's now going on to Toxical. Toxical being dropped very low. KotH and Stork are chasing Arkham, but Arkham basically taking no damage from this. It's going to be able to get away. KotH going in onto Noisen, but no, it's going to hit Godspeed instead. Rain of Vengeance doesn't actually hit anyone. Godspeed, Precision Strike does not kill him off, and the Ancestral Healing does a lot of healing, but he gets burst down by Unstable. And now the chase is on to Noisen. He does not have his Dimensional Shift. He doesn't have the mana to use it if he did, and he will go down. KotH trying to make a break for it. Stork teleporting in front of him. Nice Metamorphosis to escape, but that is still a 2 for 0. And
you know,
we now can see some towers.
Tetcher.
Sorry?
The scary part is the fact that they managed to get the Ancestral Healing off and then still have enough damage to
still
take them
went down instantly, just not enough. It was on Tyrant, though, to be fair, who is made out of paper mache and baby powder. We're now going to see is that Sebkia. Yep, Sebkia is in the plant terror. He will head up to the top lane to clear those mercenaries. While this was going on, Toxical did actually manage to sneaky steal the siege camp of Team Arthas. So minor victories to at least make them feel better.
Yeah, but it's not going to be doing all that much. And if we're actually looking at Sergeant Hammer right now, it's the double range, I believe. Advanced Artillery and Maelstrom Shells. And that's going to be used together with Giant Killer to deal a lot of damage from afar. As Kunichan forced to sprint out there. Rain of Vengeance used defensively. No wombo combo this time. But, well, they don't have to. Look at the top lane. So much damage already.
Yep, Sebkia is basically going to hang up here while the rest of the team goes on to Arkham. There's the combo. Arkham healing himself. Ancestral Healing does save him for now. Starfall is actually slowing down Arthas a lot, but Arkham being dropped solo, so much healing, but it's in the shield. Can he get out?
Yes.
Oh no! He
so
does
close.
get wiped out thanks to the multi-shot of Valor. Stork giving a nice little smite for good show onto Godspeed. Noisen is now running for his life back to his own base, and the rest of Team Refuse has moved to this top lane to deal with StroitHram, who still has 23 seconds left in this plant turret and is going to move his way down to the mid lane to start on those towers. Nope, trying to bait but does get stunned. You can't duke someone with something that shows up where it is on the minimap at all times.
That's pretty certain. StroitHram almost getting popped out of his plant golem finally happens, and now he's back in his Nova form. He's going to be able to deal a little bit of damage here. Pops the holo decoy to get a bit of salted ammo, but
he has double fake as well. This is the build that I use, running the ability bonus damage, the armor piercings, the anti-armor shells, and then running lethal decoy and double fake. 25% damage on each of those holograms, meaning you're doing 150% of the damage you would otherwise be doing.
Seems pretty solid to me. Keep down to about 2,000 hit points, and we'll be able to be taken down pretty soon as well. Things aren't looking all that good for Refuse, although they do refuse to give up. But it's more like flailing angrily at this point.
This is true. They are currently trying to defend their mid lane, where there are two siege giant camps. Andy, Lendy, KotH, and Stork all there. We're now seeing Nova and Unstable make their way to this mid lane as well, looking possibly for the pick. They have all their ultimates up, looking for the opportunity. If anyone steps through that wall, they're getting engaged. Well, now the wall is gone, but they still need to step a bit further. They still need to step a bit further forward. They will not want to dive onto that fort unless they have a really good angle, or at least until this minion wave's done. Stork waiting for his moment. He needs someone to move away from the pack before he takes the risk. Toxical's a bit far forward, but he's not the ideal target. And Noisen has separated himself, but he's out of vision range, so he will not be the target here. Godspeed might be a good target if Stork could actually make his way round to him. Down goes the keep. This would be the perfect time to go in. Godspeed still a little bit separated, but instead the entire team's going to move its way round to the top lane and start work on that keep as well.
You know, the biggest part is that even if Arthas wants to engage, they don't have to. They have so much range. They can wait until their opponents make that engage moment, which they can't. They're 4 levels behind. They're a talent behind as a result.
All their keeps are down.
They don't have the range. Yeah, keeps are down. 0 forts, 0 kills as well. I believe that's pretty much unheard of up till now. But Arthas is like, okay, we're switching into overdrive. It's like they turned on the booster rockets of their team.
Yep, and it's not just Hammer using it here. Hammer, though, has started on this top plant and is going to get stunned quite badly, but is still going to be doing the damage. And it's another plant terror, and it looks like we are going to see Refuse get their first plant terror of the game, though. There we go, they do pick that up. Like we said, small victories. StroitHram heading back to base. He will be grabbing the terror for Team Arthas. Terror of Team Refuse is going to be taken by KotH, the two squishy characters taking it there. Andy Lendy does get rooted, but not going to make a difference. And the bottom terror still hasn't been taken, but not going to make a difference. They will be able to grab that for some extra seeds, but they really need to get back to their base, and they need to finish this off as soon as possible. There we go. Going to be picking up the remainder of the seeds and then being back to base as soon as possible. So 1, they don't get caught, and 2, so they can defend, but Godspeed has been caught! Toxical does get out. It is now Arkham and Godspeed running for their life. Godspeed does get polymorphed, and in comes the wombo combo. It will go down. There's the stun, and there's the damage. Starfall does slow them down a little, but it's not going to be enough. Judgment was not needed at all. Gonus was thinking about split pushing, but he had to come back.
But is that really the target they want? As really coming out another stun, it doesn't really matter what target it is. They're just going to be destroying whoever gets into their way. It's already a 2 for 0 here. KotH trying to survive as Toxical and KotH are combining their forces right on top of his face, but even that is not enough. It's a 4 for 0 already. StroitHram is on the core, and it's going to be GG. KotH, if he goes down, he's going to be breaking the perfect record, but KotH is like, okay, you can't kill me, KotH. You can try, but it's not going to happen.
There we go. There is the win, and Arthas brings it up to a 2-1 lead. Pre-level 20, very nice there. A 4 for 0 kill at the end. Only person unable to take down was KotH in the plant terror, who for a short second there was thinking about pushing the top lane, and then obviously his team were like, no, come back, this is horrible, they're killing us. But he got down there too late and wasn't even able to kill off Uther. Ladies and gentlemen, we are loading into game number 4 of the Dingit.tv Heroes of the Storm King of the Hill for the EU region. It's going to be on Sky Temple. It is match point for Team Arthas, but this is Refuse's map. Can they bring it back and give themselves a final chance of taking it home? That's $25 and a spot in next week for the King of the Hill. We will have to see.
Or will it be Arthas who decides we're going to put our foot down just like what happened last game and we're going to be taking home that $25 and, well, then get themselves to that next week. So, yeah, it's going to be a fun game. I believe I have the overlay correct. It would be Arthas on the red side and it would be Refuse on the blue side.
That is correct.
Well, Tetcher, Refuse. Who is playing for Refuse?
Playing for Refuse, starting in the top lane, is Noisen, who will be running on the Sergeant Hammer. Arkham is going to be on the Rhaegar. Godspeed is on the Valor. In the mid lane, we have Toxical on the Tyrael. And in the bot lane, it is Konus on the Illidan.
And on the other side, we have Kunichan running Uther. We have Unstable running Tychus. Stalk running Muradin. Andy Lundy running Tassadar. And Sepkaya running the Terrans. And immediately they're heading towards that, the standard fight of the game, the Observatory.
Yeah, we did not, however, see Team Refuse going for that. They realised that it's until we get to the later levels and when Tyrael is with them, Arthas has a better engage comp because of the stuns from Tehran, because of the grenade from Tychus, etc., and the stuns from Uther and Muradin. Arthas will start off with a better comp. Oh, first stun misses. Second stun doesn't even go off. Sepkiar doesn't even throw it out. So until we get
no CC train.
No CC trade, indeed. And right now, though, we are seeing the fairly standard strategy. Oops!
Immediately, noise and
oh my god, destroyed! Now that's the CC trade we were talking about. Like we said, until we get to the level 10s, Arthas are going to have a slightly better way to engage here. And that immediately invalidates what I was going to say of they're going to have the standard Sergeant Hammer in the top lane trying to do as much damage as possible. Can't do that, she's dead. And right now we are seeing Team Arthas get control of this top lane. And like we see so many times, and we have said it so many times before, on this map you start with 3 people in the top lane so that you are nearer to both mid and the top temple, so that you can react to either of them when you need to. Muradin currently given vision of the top temple.
Look at Arkham, he's going to get engaged from the backside. He has nowhere to run, nowhere to hide. The Stalk just needs to land his stun.
There it is.
Does land it.
And second one. Yep, currently, Noisen was able to grab a couple shots from this, but Stalk going to move in there now and start taking the rest of them with the help of Unstable and Sebkir. In the mid lane, Toxical just got to the temple and he'll be starting taking the shots from that. Noisen is there with him. Kunichan in the mid lane, currently just keeping vision so that he knows what's happening. Owl comes down so they can see what is going on, but they can't. Arthas can't really raid into this middle shrine yet, as they don't really have enough people here. No, we're seeing both bot laners making their way up to come and help here.
Yeah, stun on the Toxical. That's going to be forcing him away from the shrine. It's going to allow Arts to actually take that one down, but that's guys enough trouble. He's taking way too much damage. His shields are just enough. Andy Landy has to get out of there, is able to just walk straight on by, and now he has to be very careful. He doesn't have dimensional shift, is going to get taken down, and that is going to send that middle shrine over to the team of Refuse. But it looks like Arthas isn't going to be giving that one away all that easily. They still have about 10 shots remaining, and they decide, well, whatever. We lose one try.
Yeah, this is the case. Both teams, though, able to get quite a lot of shots out of their respective temples. Final shots coming out of that mid-temple for Team Refuse. Next temple does spawn in the bot lane, but that will be at about 350, I believe. I think it spawns at exactly 4 minutes, I think, when it actually that's when it actually activates.
Yeah, it kind of depends. Oh, my mouse is freaking out again.
Oh no. That is not
news. Yeah, it's racing all over the screen. Now Siege Camp going into the hands of Team Refuse and Arthas. So it's a very even battle right now, although Arthas getting their third talent a little bit earlier. Now Noisen has to be a little bit careful, but it's just going to be blasting Kunichan away. It's nothing coming out of that one.
Yep, there's a bit of a group very near to Team Refuse's hard camp here, but we're seeing Team Arthas instead moving to the top lane rather than trying to raid it, and they're just going to go straight for this fort instead, and they might actually be able to get it if Arthas don't turn around and start defending instead of continuing to take this hard camp. Toxical thinking about making his way up, runs into KotH on the way, and this fort is going to die. No reactions equals a dead fort.
Yeah, very good play here by the team of Arthas, and KotH now has to be a little bit careful. Eldon's White being popped out by Toxical, but he decides not to teleport right into the hands of his enemy. And, well, you were talking about 4 minutes in.
Yeah, but I was wrong.
Yeah, it's probably the end of the temple. Most likely that's often enough. We saw the mid-temple actually going back to Arthas for a little bit, and maybe that's what is causing the...
It was neutral for quite a while.
Oh, Lendy! Dimensional shift is just... No,
he's so low!
No, Lendy, be careful!
Oh, wow, destroyed. There's a bit of a scuffle happening in the top lane as well, but Team Arthas still able to get their own hard camp, and now they will make it their way down to bot lane, but they are a person down thanks to KotH getting that very clutch kill at the end there, and he's actually going to be able to get the first couple shots off before the rest of Team Arthas arrives. And currently, with Godspeed fighting Sepcare on the top lane, they are going to have a numbers advantage, but Team Arthas don't look like they want to raid this. They realise they are going to be down in numbers, so they're just going to start soaking some lanes, getting some XP, and trying to get back any kind of deficit they already had.
Yeah, well, that engage, KotH getting the clutch kill, it was really big Landy's overextension there, but here's the combo straight on the KotH. Yeah, that's CC train. Choo-choo! As they're actually going to be picking up this shrine here and going to get most of these shots off. So eventually it's going to be an advantage for Arthas, even though I didn't expect that one to happen.
Well, the CC train is a fantastic thing. Noisen also becomes a passenger on the CC train, but he is in fact able to get away. Their fountain, though, does go down unstable, popping his first aid and getting a shield from Tastar, keeping him alive. Final shots go out in favour of Team Arthas. Boss yet to attempt to be taken. It would be a terrible idea to try and take it now. Instead, we're seeing both teams looking for possibly to get a pick before they try and attempt the boss. Both teams are level 10. They have their ultimates. Currently, none have been used except for the Divine Storm that we saw in that to help pick off... Who was that who died then? It was Illidan.
Exactly. Well, if you want to pick, you just kill Toxical or you kill KotH, because they are riding one. In the meantime, though, just the siege continues. It's kind of like the siege of Orgrimmar, but then a little bit different. It's not really Orgrimmar. It's more of a what's it called again? What's the name of this land again, Tetcher? Do you recall?
What, as in the area that we're currently in? This is Luxoria.
Luxoria, there we go. Speaking of Luxoria, they have the luxury of popping the Odin a little bit early here. They're going to be taking the siege camp. They're doing some damage here to Noisen, but this siege camp definitely going to go over to Arthas. They're going to be able to rotate directly to their own siege camp and get ready for the next temple spawn. Also, a new thing here on the Odin is that you have booster rockets, and well, Tetcher.
Oh, hang on, just quickly. I'm going to interrupt you. KotH is on his own. He's managed to run away all the way to his team instead of getting engaged upon. No ults were used to pick him off. Instead, we're now going to see Refuse back up. KotH getting out of that alive. He's once again showing massive bravery by once again pushing out away from his entire team. So many chances he could have been caught there, but he's able to stay alive, and instead he's going to hang in his bot lane, soak some XP, and the entirety of Arthas have all split up to get XP. Top and bottom temples will be activated in about 10 seconds.
Yeah, and definitely bottom temple in favor of Refuse, whereas top temple in the hands of Arthas. Yeah, it's just a numbers advantage here. However, Arthas has decided we're going straight through the middle. Going to be taking that middle fort tower down. The fort is going to get destroyed by the shrine, and they're rotating up to the top lane to continue their push there. So I'm a little bit...
I thought they were going to try and take the bruises there, but instead they're actually going straight for the towers here. Grab themselves some more XP. Towers and then bruises, perhaps, to try and continue onto the fort. Tassadar is just holding this top lane on his own, as he is very capable of doing. He did get knocked back there. However, Ufa is actually being engaged upon. There's the Rain of Vengeance, followed by the Judgment, and KotH does go down. That is a kill for Team Refuse, and they are now going to do exactly what Arthas are doing, and they're also going to start pushing on a tier 2 set of towers.
Yeah, but look at the power that Arthas already has. They have the advantage that they're Temple is actually shooting at where they're going. They're going to be heading straight back to base, having Hearthstoned, and this fort is not, rather keep is not going to go down before that they actually arrive. Shield from Annie Landy going to keep it alive a little bit more, and now they're looking for the engage. A Stalk jumps in, the Odin getting pot by unstable, and they're going to be forcing them away from that keep. Get away from my keep. It's mine, and you're not touching it. Although,
nice
Toxical in a lot of fault, no, he's going to be surviving that one. Although...
Oh, he gets stunned again. He doesn't have the mana for his Elderwind's Might. He should go down here. And yep, down he goes. Going to try to explode onto all of these characters here. Does get Sebkia and Andy Lendy. Not going to be enough to pick anyone off, though. But that is still another pick for Arthas, keeping their lead, keeping their dominance. And now, I think, would be a good time to go for boss. And it looks like they agree. And they are going to be starting that straight away. While in the meantime, we're seeing Team Refuse splitting up, thinking about soaking lanes, clearing what they can, and maybe going for their hard camp.
Yeah, in the meantime, this gives us a little bit of time to talk about the talents, and pretty standard builds from coming out of both teams, I would say. Not really anything that catches my attention, to be honest. Maybe the triple dimensional shift coming out of Tastar, but that's most likely just to keep him alive a little bit longer.
Yeah, it's pretty standard these days. He has a lot of damage. Back when I think you last cast him, actually, because I don't think he's been in any of our games for a while. But he was basically going for the full attack build there. But he did get changed. Now this is just a survivability build. He does enough damage on his own thanks to Archon. But like I said, everything else, pretty standard. Very survivable build from Tychus. The Tyrande, slightly different to the Tyrande we saw out of Team Refuse, but still very nice. A lot of damage. Huntress's Fury is a fantastic ability. 40% attack speed when using it.
Oh, here they go. Judgment straight to Sebkai. Sebkai is just going to be walking straight out of it thanks to the cleanse. Now, Andy Lendy in a lot of trouble. He's also going to be dimensional shifting a few times. The Divine Hurricane coming out. The Tyrael goes down. Rhaegar goes down. This is going to be the end of KotH as well. He has nowhere to run.
Nice, down he goes. He almost was able to pick someone off there. We're now seeing Noisen backing out. Andy Lendy chasing with his dimensional shift. Down goes Noisen. Down goes Tyrande. Sorry, not Tyrande. Down goes, who was that? That was Valor, sorry. They're very similar skins.
Everyone is dead.
Yep,
it doesn't matter, Tetcher. Everyone is dead. This is game.
Yeah, that is GG. So it is going to be Team Arthas StroitHram, who will be moving on to the next week. Congratulations to them. Very nicely done. Very good composition. And down it goes in a 3-1 victory.
And the Heroes of the Storm logo right in the middle of the screen.
The core is full of gold.
It's gold.
Gold.
I love gold.
Muradin. We cut to black and Muradin just jumps into it. Gold.
And that means that, yeah, like you said, Arthas StroitHram is going to be returning next week in a chance to gain another $25. And, well, Refuse, they did a fantastic job, but unfortunately they couldn't quite finish the job. I mean, they did they won game 1, if I'm not mistaken.
They did.
And then suddenly Arthas was like, okay, you won a game.
Yep, Refuse got their choice of a map, and it worked. And then Arthas got a choice of a map, and then they just started winning from there no matter what the map was. Very well played. You got some very nice picks, and they got Valor and Sergeant Hammer. And that kind of looked like Hammer, Valor, and Tyrael. And they were able to burst people down instantly. And then Refuse take that. And Arthas still managed to win by getting a completely different composition where they were also able to just burst people down.
Yeah, and it was... I don't know how that suddenly... I would say that the snowballing coming out of Arthas was just amazing. Every single... The last 2 games, they've been snowballing like mad. They get their advantage and then suddenly, okay,